What's going on, y'all? It's me, Maddie. Thanks for tuning back in. I've got a fun one for you today. We're going to do a reversion, but hey, as always, gotta hit the gong before we get the day started. I don't know about you guys, but I love it. I love it. That being said, I mean, we're just going to hop straight into it. I've got one about table etiquette. I did something a while back ago about just DM and player tips as well, but this is more about just how to act as a human being at the table. So this one, you know exactly who you are. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna be honest. The most cringy experiences, the terrible experiences I've had with tabletop is always related to Magic. But again, it's because people get so competitive. I've never seen a competitive game of Dungeons and Dragons. That being said, I'm just gonna hop straight into it. I've even got like a little list right here we can mess around with. But the first one is, I mean, hopefully this goes without saying. If you're gonna be the host, even if you're the player or the DM, just tidy up. Just tidy up a little bit. Little. A little will go a long way. Just especially the area you guys are gonna be playing in, maybe the kitchen too. But just tidying up, it shows, hey, I care about you guys. I want this to be clean for you guys, but that might just be my OCD talking. So, that one's the first quick one. The second one, I've said this before as well, but for players, this also goes for DMs as well. But listen. As a DM, listen to your players, listen to their inputs, and work off the inputs. That's bread and butter right there. But as a player, listen to the DM and listen to your other players as well, because they may have an idea they want to use you for, they want to work with you. They may have a warning for everybody. You don't want to just be looking at your phone going, wait, what was the move again? So always listen to your players, listen to your DMs, and DMs listen to your players too. Use that feedback, keep just cycle. It's a vicious cycle. So, what would you say? I would say DM. Oh, I can't type. Don't worry about me. There we go. But yeah, always listen. It, again, just helps the creative process as well. Because when you're listening, you say, oh, he's doing that. Well, hey, I've got this idea, and then she can do that. Okay. Let's take down the giant. Go. Always recommend listening. I'm kind of just going off this little chart here I made, but yeah, it's an entire notepad. But yeah, that being said, this is a game with your friends, so friends always get along. If someone's goes nuclear, you have to kick them out. You guys are friends. It should never have to come to kicking anybody out of the table or the group. I've played plenty of games of D&D, and I've only had to kick out one person. And he knows why. I love him to death. It was my older brother, but he's just been, he was just having too much fun that night. But I was like, hey man, we're trying to play this game, and he was really, really off track. And I was like, hey, just go hang out on the couch. You'll be all good, man. Just listen to us. But we've got the game going on, and so sometimes when that happens, it's like, hey man, just here's some water. First of all, here's some ibuprofen. Go hang out on the couch. Just listen to the game, but. That being said, you should kick out anyone out. Even if you do have it, that shouldn't be kicking them out. It should, hey man, you maybe lie down for a minute, because it's a game with friends, and if you guys are drinking, totally cool, but always drink responsibly. That's what I say. I'm 25. I look like I'm 12, but I'm actually 25. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, that being said, when you're playing as a player or a DM, everyone has gotten around the table together to hang out and play the game. And, you guys are all friends as well. Hopefully you guys are all friends as well. But that being said, the game, it's not about you. Okay. Don't make it about you. Don't make it about your personal problems in life. I've played a couple games, not a couple. I played like one major game where, different from the older, this was one of the roommates I lived with, but he was just having a rough week, man. And, I don't blame him. He didn't really have anybody to talk to at the time. So it was a solid place to output, but, wrong place, wrong time. I was just trying to, we were all trying to enjoy one last game together before I got out of there. But yeah, that being said, just don't make it about you. if you have a problem with anybody at the table too, talk about it in private. Again, we're all humans here. We should all be friends. But act civil, because we all take time out of our busy weeks to, again, get this game going, and hang out with each other. I hope you guys better like hanging out with each other if you're playing this ridiculous game. That being said, this one's a major one. As it kind of, just it relates to listening, but as a DM and as a player, always go with the flow. Don't be the stick in the mud. If you're the DM and they want to go to some place you haven't prepped, say, hey, I haven't prepped that spot. Could we do this or something else instead that I might have prepped? That's a lot easier. Not railroading. Even if you got to, but don't be the stick in the mud as a DM. Say, hey, I can't do that. Can we do this? I like that idea. Be very open and flexible. Try to be as well. But as a player too, let's say the wizard's about to cast Fireball and he's like, get out of there, hurry, I'm going to blow them up. And you're like, no, I'm going to keep attacking. Cool. You want to keep attacking, I don't blame you. I'm all about rolling those clickety-clack, crunchy-munchy math rocks, being a math rock goblin myself. But when it comes down to it, don't be a stick in the mud to where, you get yourself killed or you get a player killed. Wizard, if he's going to keep attacking those guys, maybe lay off on the fireball or totally cast the fireball and blow everything up. It's up to you, but you don't be the stick. Oh, hey, cleric, heal me. If the cleric's almost out of spell slots and he can't heal you or she can't heal you, don't whine, okay? They need their spell slots too. Be very, listen to players, listen to your DM, but be very open to, just be flexible. Be flexible in game. Don't be a stick in the mud because, let's say everyone's going left and you want to go right down the dungeon and you make a big fuss about it and then you die. You deserve it. You deserve it. That being said, I'm going to hop right into the next one. But yeah, go with the flow. It's a game. Again, we're all having fun with it. That next one is just like not no phones, but like phones at the table and like side talk at the table too. It all just relates to listening. The whole game is, 90% reaction, 10% listening. So if you can listen to 10%, but yeah, phones at the table. I get it. I see the effects of ADHD on the populace. But like, if you can help it, keep your phone on your side or, on the table. But just try to stay off it as much as you can. That way you're more informed. Now, if it's, a sluggish combat, I understand you're checking Twitter, but, try it, stay in the moment because during that sluggish combat, something might happen to where the tides can turn easily. If you, are being observant and you're watching the game, being the DM, not a, I haven't had that issue with any of my players. And if I did, I'd fucking snap them in half. No. I mean, seriously, like if someone's looking at it, I'd be like, hey man, did you catch that? They'd be like, no, can you repeat it? I'll be like, yes, I can. Sometimes if I'm like, I will not repeat myself, y'all better listen today, they totally get it. But yeah, try to keep the phones down to a minimum. Side talk as well, unrelated to game. Side talk, try to keep it down to a minimum if you can. Well, hopefully you can, because everyone's trying to pay attention to the game itself and how it's moving along. Again, DM might be saying something, player might be giving out ideas, what they might want to do next. So side talking phones, always keep the distractions down to a minimum. I haven't even updated this, so excuse me. Oh man, yeah, I forgot I had the whole just listen, but befriend, that's a good one. Phones minimum. Side talk. Okay, next one. Then this one's gonna be for the adults here. So, all you guys, 20 guys and gals, 21 up, able to drink, vape, smoke, whatever your fucking vice is. I mean, I get it. There's awful, awful world. You got to have something to keep you going. You got to have a little bit of happiness. That's why I drink jet black coffee in the morning, and I'll just vape all day long like a fucking cringy ass train. That's all I do. But that being said, drugs and alcohol related, real talk. Always establish that prior. If you're making new friends, solid friend group, whatever, establish that relationship prior. Hey guys, we like to have a couple of beers, blah, blah, blah. Oh, hey, it's tradition. We like to have a shot before, we get the game started. We just want to loosen up, la, 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 la. All cool. I am all about it. Like I said previously, sometimes a player, all they need is just to take a break and have some water, especially if you guys are pre-gaming a little bit hard. But that being said, if that's in the mix too, always drink responsibly. Always drink plenty of water as well. Don't be acting a fool. Don't let D&D and alcohol be an excuse for you to act a fool. Nobody likes that. Nobody likes that person. I'll just tell you that right now, because everyone sees it for what it is. That being said, too, just about, again, drugs and alcohol. If you're gonna vape, I'll just tell you, if you're gonna vape and it's not your house or not your apartment, you ask. If you're gonna smoke, if you're gonna fucking smoke cigs too, you ask. But cigs outside, the rules. If you're gonna vape, don't vape in people's faces. Don't do it passive aggressive. Don't do it at all. That's asking to get punched in the face. You should know that too. If you're already doing that, don't vape on the table. Don't vape on the minis. Go straight up. And if you guys are gonna do anything else further than that as well, always run it by your crew first. Just because stuff might make people uncomfortable, and that's totally fine. You shouldn't. This is a game for, we're having fun with D&D. If you're hanging out with drugs and alcohol too, that's a side relationship. You better be responsible enough to keep yourself good. Always have a designated driver as well, if you're especially, going hard. But, I just wanted to have a real talk with you guys as well, because we're all adults here too. So drugs and alcohol are real. Vices are real. But that being said, don't let it be an excuse for you to act like a chump at the table. I am a very big proponent of rule of cool, but I'm a very big proponent of being just a cool person in general. And acting like a chump ain't being cool. That being said, hang out, party with your friends. It's D&D. Have some fun. We're going to hop kind of another one for, this is table talk. Not side talk, but table talk in game, whether it's first person or third person. As a DM, I always encourage you guys as players or DMs too to always voice them out, or go third person. Sometimes you've been talking too much and you just want to, and sometimes the players just want to hear a quick explanation. Go third person. When you want to have a little bit of fun with characters, go first person. But as a player too, it's totally up to you. I highly encourage table talk. It's really fun when you're a DM to just kind of sit back and and the entire table starts talking, in character about what they're going to do next. It's pretty cool because you're like, oh man, is it working? Is it working? It is. It's working. If they're talking in character, it's working. You're doing a good job. Give yourself a pat on the back. But definitely encourage table talk. In character voice or not character, first or third, whatever you want to do, however you do it, whatever you're comfortable with as a player, DM, I say run it. Always encourage table talk. And then, the last one, it's super simple. I can spell it out for you all, but it just comes down to be cool. Just be cool as a player, as a DM. Everyone at the table is your friend. If they need a little help, if they need to vent about something, let them vent. Don't let it take over the game, but let them vent for sure. If someone had a little bit too much to drink, get them on the couch, get them some water, get them some ibuprofen, bro. Don't leave, no man, no woman left behind, right? Don't leave anybody hanging, okay? Everybody at the table is your friend. Always treat them like such. Treat them with respect too. I get when tensions get high. I get, if you're a DM and your players' actions almost feel like they're going against you. I get that, but they're not. Remember, they're never going against you. They're just trying to play the game. You provide the game for them. As a player too, if you feel like the DM is, out to get you almost, take a step out and see, is he really, or are they really out to get you, or are they really setting up the game? And maybe you guys aren't listening well. Maybe you guys are distracted. Maybe you're not watching the full combat evolve. Maybe the whole time they were throwing, little monsters at you guys, and you were, in the bushes, in the weeds. You didn't even realize that maybe as a DM or as a player, I forgot where I was going, but with that, all that baloney. But just be cool, be open, be flexible. Don't be the stick in the mud. I always follow the rule of cool. It's a tool, the rule of cool. So don't overuse it, but be cool at the table. Be cool, to everybody at the table. Because again, we all spent time getting over here. As you can tell by my crappy artwork right here, that's a group playing Dungeons and Dragons right there. But yeah, always keep it friendly. Don't, just be cool. I think that's all I really have to say. But that being said, I really have had nothing but positive experiences with D&D. Only couple times, those 2 times I mentioned. But that being said, you guys are friends. Keep it, if the game gets a little too hot, take a break for a week. If you're running out of ideas, take a break for a week. I highly recommend that. Just don't let it consume you to where, you're being rude to players, you're being rude to the DM. It's not a competitive game. It's a creative thinking game, but it's just, it's a game for, people like you and me that want to dress up or not dress up and being a character or not being a character. But it's just a fun little game. And, the most surefire way to always get invited back to that next game, that next campaign, just, being cool, being open, listening to all your players. Don't make it about you. Don't, if you need to vent or if someone needs to vent, listen to them, bro. They're your friend. If they had a little too much during the pregame, give them some water, give them some ibuprofen. They're your friends, bro. But, that's really all I got for it. That being said, you guys have a good one. Thanks again for watching these videos. We got that subscriber giveaway. Check out the video previous to this. Join the Discord down below. Join the giveaway server. Giving out a couple of, we're gonna, send out a couple of dice to some winners here. You dice goblins, nice opportunity. But hey, like I said, thanks for watching these videos, and you guys keep it cool, man. Enjoy the rest of your week.